So let us add this verse and then we stop here inshallah. وَكَذَلِكَ يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ وَيُعَلِّمُكَ مِنْ تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ وَيُتِمُّ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكَ وَعَلَى آلِ يَعْقُوبَ كَمَا أَتَمَّهَا عَلَى أَبَوَيْكَ مِنْ قَبْلِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَإِسْحَاقَ إِنَّ رَبَّكَ حَكِيمٌ عَلِيمٌ. So the father asked Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam not to tell the dream to his brothers. Why? Out of fear that they are going to plot against him. And definitely they did some of that. So he told him, he said, the reason why, because your dream has, something good in it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to choose you and make you one of the best prophets. So he said, وَكَذَلِكَ يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ. And in the same way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala show you in the presence of those 11 stars, plus the sun and the moon prostrating to you. This shows that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is selecting you and favoring you over them. And the same thing also will happen to you, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless you and give you the prophecy. وَيُعَلِّمُكَ مِنْ تَأْوِيلِ الْحَدِيثِ. And He will teach you the translation of the dreams. That's the translation given by Yaqub. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will choose you and give you the nubuwah, and also He will teach you how to translate the dream. As we can see, the best translator of the dream at that moment was Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. وَيُتِمُّ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكَ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will complete His favor over you. وَعَلَى آلِ يَعْقُوبَ كَمَا أَتَمَّهَا عَلَى أَبَوَيْكَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will complete His favor upon the children of Yaqub alayhi salam, who was your father. كَمَا أَتَمَّهَا عَلَى أَبَوَيْكَ مِنْ قَبْلِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَإِسْحَاقَ. Just like the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala completed His blessings upon your parent before us, were Ibrahim and also Ishaq alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He really blessed Ibrahim alayhi salam. During the time of Ibrahim, there wasn't anyone who was like Ibrahim alayhi salam. Allah gave him the khulla, meaning the best person to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The closest person to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, we tested him with many things and he passed the test. Yeah. Only Ibrahim can pass this test. And people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved. And this shows that the test of the prophets is stronger than ours, as the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said. We will talk about some of this inshallah in somewhere around the surah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tested Ibrahim with many tests, and Ibrahim passed the test. One of them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked him to slaughter his son, and he did try, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the end, He stopped it and replaced the son with the sheep. But he did. Both of them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَلَمَّا أَسْلَمَ وَتَلَّهُ لِلْجَبِينِ. So he turned him, to the ground. He's going to slaughter him, but ask him to face the ground so that he will not see him, because if you see him, feel mercy. Yeah. And the son maybe will cry, something like this. But which one is more stronger in terms of being obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Ibrahim saw a dream, and immediately he said, this is a command from Allah. Slaughtering his son. He could have said, no, this dream is against the common sense. But the prophets, shaitan cannot approach them at all. Shaitan cannot approach them at all. That's why they said, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he never take shower, ghusl of janaba, which is not because he had relationship with his family. For him to sleep and have wet dream, many scholars, they said this never happened to a prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because it is from shaitan for sure. And shaitan cannot deceive them in the dream. Because the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, we the nations of the Prophet, our hearts cannot sleep at all. The eyes can close, but the heart cannot sleep. It is always awake. And once the heart is awake, shaitan cannot deceive someone. Plus, these people, they are guided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Ibrahim, he saw the dream. He quickly acted upon it. And he told Ismail first, he said, I saw myself in the dream slaughtering you. What do you think? And he did not say to him that you have to think properly. How can you react upon this dream? It's against the common sense. He looked at his father, he said, Ya abatif alma tu'mar. He reminded the father that this is command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you to do. And they went, both of them, they went to apply what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the dream. But alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He just want to see how obedient they are. how obedient they are, and they pass the test. And the second one, the first one, when Allah SWT asked him to take the child and the mother and go and put them in Mecca where there is no life in that place, and this is the most precious child that Ibrahim has. At that moment he has no Ishaq, and Allah SWT asked him to take him to that place and keep him there, and he did. So that's why I look at the result of the test. Passing the test, Allah SWT chose him. Allahu Akbar. He gave him generations of prophets. Almost most of the prophet that came after Ibrahim, they are from his children. That's why they call him Abul Anbiya. And he gave him this, the blessings. Everyone is trying to attribute himself to Ibrahim. When you go to the Arabs, who is your father? They will say Ibrahim. When you go to the Jew, who is your father? Ibrahim. When you go to the Christian, who is your father? Ibrahim. Everyone is trying to relate himself to Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, what? ما كان إبراهيم يهوديا ولا نصرانيا ولكن كان حنيفا مسلما وما كان من المشركين. He said Ibrahim wasn't a Jew, and he was not a Christian, and he is not going to be one of the idol worshippers. So that means he is not with the Jews, not with the Christian, not with the pagans of Makkah. He's with who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said Hanifan. He is Hanif. Hanif means someone who left shirk, not associated partner with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in any sense. وَمَا كَانَ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. He wasn't among the mushrikeen. إِنَّ أَوْلَى النَّاسِ بِإِبْرَاهِيمَ لَلَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوهُ وَهَذَا النَّبِيُّ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said the people that belongs to Ibrahim, they are who? The people who followed Ibrahim at his time. And also وَهَذَا النَّبِيُّ, this prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, and the people who obeys the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that means even if you're not from Arabs, you're not from the Jews, alhamdulillah, you're not from the Christian, you're not from any of those people, as long as you're believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you'll be what? You will be one of the party of Ibrahim alayhi salam. So this is just a reminder about some of the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Ibrahim alayhi salam. And also Ishaq also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him amongst his children prophets also. The father of Yaqub. Yaqub is the father of the Jew, who was Israel himself. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, كَمَا أَتَمَّهَا عَلَى أَبَوَيْكَ مِنْ قَبْلِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَإِسْحَاقَ إِنَّ رَبَّكَ عَلِيمٌ حَكِيمٌ. Your Lord, your Rabb. Rabb means the creator, the owner, and the controller. This is the meaning of Tawheed al-Rububiyyah. Whenever you hear Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, the real meaning for Tawheed al-Rububiyyah is to believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator, and to believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the owner, and to believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the controller. Al-Khaliq, Al-Malik, Al-Mudabbir. This is the real meaning of Tawheed al-Rububiyyah. That's why if you accept it, you have to accept the others. Because when you accept that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who created you, that's when He owns you for sure. Because I'm not the one who created my phone. I just bought it, but I claim that the phone is mine. What do you think of the one who created the phones? Everything belongs to Him. And we all know in this life, if you have a slave, the only one that can give command to the slave is you. And we all believe, based on the Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, that we are all slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That means He is the only one that is supposed to give us command, and we cannot say no to Him. That's why if you believe, definitely in the meaning of Tawheed al-Rububiyyah, you will accept the Uluhiyyah. You will accept the Asma' wa Sifat. Inna Rabbaka Alimun Hakim. And also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of His attributes is Ilm. Ilm means He is all-knowing. He knows the past, He knows the present, He knows the future. These are the three tendencies you have. The past, the present, and the future. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the first time He created pen. That's why some of the scholars, they said the first thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created is the pen. Why? Because of the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It is a controversial issue, but there is one hadith that says, أَوَّلُ شَيْءٍ خَلَقَهُ اللَّهُ. When the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam uses the word shay'in, so according to the one who believes that this hadith is authentic, that means any controversy is removed. Because the word means the first thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created was the pen. And He asked the pen to write. The pen asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what should I write? He said, write what happened and what is happening and what will happen till the day of judgment. And the pen was writing till today. It is right. Everything that is happening, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took him to a position. He said, I reached a position that I could hear the sound of pens writing. Allahu Akbar. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is alim. He has the knowledge of everything. And knowledge, sometimes you can see some people, they have the knowledge, but unfortunately they put the knowledge not in the proper place. Yeah, we all know this in this life. Some of the scholars, the so-called scholars, especially scholars of dunya, they are what? Devil. Yeah. They will use the knowledge to cause destruction of earth. So since we have this knowledge, the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has to be unique and different from those. Because from the beginning, people, they have been using their own knowledge in something which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not happy with, not putting it in the proper place. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He described His knowledge with what? Hikmah. Hikmah means, Al-Hakim means the one who is putting things in their own proper places. So when He chose Yusuf and gave him the prophecy, that's the best thing to be done at that moment. When they said, how come, to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, someone was saying to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, wal-iyadhu billah, they said, ama wajada Allahu ahadan ghayrak, wal-iyadhu billah. Someone said to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He did not find anyone to send except you. Look at the way, this person is responding to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they said, how come? How can Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala choose you? What happened to Walid ibn al-Mughira? What happened to Urwa ibn Mas'ud al-Thaqafi from Taif? They said, لولا نزل هذا القرآن على رجل من القريتين عظيم. How can Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala choose to send Quran with you? Why not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send it to one of the greatest people, either in Mecca or Taif, either Urwa or Walid ibn al-Mughira? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refuted them. He said, Allahu a'lamu haythu yaj'alu risalata. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who knows the proper place to place His message. Yeah. And they themselves, they lie. This is one of the most funniest things among those people. They know that there is no one that can compare himself with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They know this. But just out of arrogance, because Muhammad was fighting their interest, which is based on evil, because if their interest is not based on evil, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would never fight it at all. He will establish it more than what they are doing. But unfortunately, those interests, they are based on evil. That's why Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, since it is part of his job to eradicate all evils, he fought them, and that's why the enmity and hatred began. So that's it. So the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is described by hikmah. So that means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all-knowing, and His knowledge is not like our own knowledge. He places His knowledge in their own proper place. Whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses someone, that means He is the best choice. In conclusion, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Qasas, He said, وَرَبُّكَ يَخْلُقُ مَا يَشَاءُ وَيَخْتَارُ. Read, if you have time, read the commentary on this verse mentioned by Ibn Qayyim. I guess either in the book Zad al-Ma'ad fi Hadi Khair al-Ibad or the book Ad-Dawa wad-Dawa, one of them. Very excellent commentary about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is choosing whatsoever He wants. From angels, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses some of them. Jibreel is one of them. From human beings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses some of them. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is one of them. From animals also, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala favored some animals over the rest. In anything, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is choosing whatsoever He wants. وَيَخْتَارُ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is selecting. يَخْلُقُ مَا يَشَاءُ. He is creating whatever He wants, and He is selecting amongst them and favoring anyone He wants. مَا كَانَ لَهُمُ الْخِيَارُ. Human beings, they are not the one who are going to say, no, this one should be given this or that. That's why if you believe in this, you will never have jealousy in you at all, forever. You will always see the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in others and appreciate it as something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala favored them, and He did not give it to you, and it doesn't mean that you cannot get it. All you have to do, take it as a reminder that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is having the bounties which have no limit at all. So therefore, I should take this lesson and go back to Him and ask Him also to provide the same thing to me. That's it. Don't even ask the same thing. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you more than that. That's why I said, مَا كَانَ لَهُمُ الْخِيَرَ. So no one is going to choose over the choice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala choose us to be among the best in this ummah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us enough patience we need to pass the test. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase our iman. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase our knowledge. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase our interest in being patient to learn the real knowledge that will bring us closer to Him. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala show us the day we're going to see the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam في الدوس العالى إنه ولي ذلك والقادر عليه سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.